Yo, what's going on? Mike from Mike Talk Sports. In honor of UFC 291 in Salt Lake City being this Saturday, I thought I would share with you guys a slam dunk home run 3-pick parlay. So without further ado, let's get into it. So for the first two fights in the first two legs of this parlay, I've already made two longer length videos and two more technical breakdowns of these guys in terms of the tendencies and techniques in which they display in the octagon. So if you want my in-depth breakdown for the first two legs of this parlay, and why I'm very confident in both of these guys to get it done, check those videos out, but I will be giving a short, brief explanation to why I think these first two legs will hit. So the first leg is going to be Kevin Holland money line, so to win over Michael Chiesa at -145. I love these odds as they're almost about even. Kevin Holland, of course, was on a 2-fight loss streak. He got outstruck by Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, no shame in that. Then he got outgrappled by Khamzat Chimaev, but he came out in his last fight against Santonigio Ponzinibbio and looked very sharp, very clean, and got the second round finish. Whereas Michael Chiesa has lost his last two fights against Sean Brady and Vicente Luque. Two fights that didn't age incredibly bad, but two fights that didn't age incredibly good either for Michael Chiesa, as Sean Brady and Vicente Luque, especially Vicente Luque, didn't look all that good in their last fight. The thing is with Kevin Holland, he actually has pretty underrated grappling in terms of these scrambles. Once he gets stuck on the ground, he's more or less stuck there. So I would not be surprised to see Michael Chiesa, a pretty big, strong guy for the welterweight division, to in round one really ground him and control him in half guard on the ground. But in round two and round three, something about Michael Chiesa you have to remember going into this Utah Salt Lake City fight, Michael Chiesa has extremely questionable cardio, and that absolutely is going to come to a head, especially in a high grappling paced first round for Michael Chiesa. Even if he does have success in that first round, round two and round three is going to be a war. There is going to be several minutes spent on the feet, and quite simply, Kevin Holland completely outmatches Michael Chiesa. Kevin Holland has made multiple guys significantly better at striking look absolutely silly against Kevin Holland, and Michael Chiesa, he has a nice jab, but that's about it. He's really no threat on the feet. So in my opinion, Kevin Holland is going to outdog and outwar and out-technique on the feet Michael Chiesa in round two and round three. So I love that -145 to start off our parlay. The second fight on our parlay is going to be -150. So again, very close odds. And it is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson moneyline over Michel Pereira. I know MMA math sucks and it's not to be trusted, but some quick MMA math to start off my explanation. Michel Pereira looked very questionable against Santonigio Ponzinibbio on the feet in round two and round three, and he barely beat Ponzinibbio by a split decision. Kevin Holland made Ponzinibbio look absolutely silly on the feet, and of course Wonderboy Thompson in round 2, 3, and 4 more or less toyed with Kevin Holland on the feet. So make no mistake about it, guys. The striking difference between Michel Pereira and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is pretty vast. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, I'm very confident in saying he's a significantly better striker than Michel Pereira. Now, I get it. Michel Pereira has somewhat of an explosive, unpredictable, and dangerous grappling and submission game. The thing is, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is no slouch in terms of his defensive jiu-jitsu. He's a guy who is in there 10 rounds against a prime Tyron Woodley, and Tyron Woodley was not able to get into a submission or significant ground and pound against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. You'll get Stephen Wonderboy Thompson against a guy like Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns didn't even come close to getting a submission in that fight. And then Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, of course, survived in the grappling realm against Bilal Muhammad. So if he can survive against all three of those guys I just named, I'm very confident he can survive on the ground for a round if it comes down to it against Michel Pereira. So the last leg on our parlay is going to be for -165, which is going to bring the total 3-leg parlay to +352. And at +352, the $10 odds is to win $45, and the $50 odds is to win $226. A very nice payout there. But without further ado, the last leg on our parlay is a really sneaky one I really like. Exact method of victory in the Jan Blachowicz fight versus Alex Pereira. either guy to win by KO, TKO, or DQ. Let me explain. I'm not confident enough in either guy to pick a winner in this fight, but I'm damn confident this fight is not going to see the final bell. This is going to be a frantic pace. Jan Blachowicz is a guy who came out in the first couple rounds against Israel Adesanya striking heavy. Then he mixed in the fourth, the fifth round, and even the third round. He mixed in the grappling, but really in the first and second round, he really stood on the feet with Israel Adesanya. And if he does the same thing against Alex Pereira, one of them is getting knocked out. Jan Blachowicz has somewhat of a questionable guard against high kicks and against hooks to the head, and that's something that Alex Pereira, especially those hooks to the head, do very well. He's someone that at times in his career as well has really bitten on feints, and Alex Pereira throws out some of the best feints, especially for the new division that he's going to be in, which is light heavyweight. Then you look at the side of things for Alex Pereira. Maybe Alex Pereira gets knocked out. I can completely see that. Of course, he got knocked out in his last fight, and out of Jan Blachowicz's last 6 wins, 4 of which have come via TKO or KO. Make no mistake about it, that Polish power still is absolutely there from Jan Blachowicz, and something that makes me so nervous in this matchup for Alex Pereira is really his boxing defense and his lack of defense when it comes to punches. When a guy can really match Alex Pereira in terms of that length, in terms of that size, and in terms of that wingspan and really get in his face, he has his hands down. He has more of that tit for tat. I'm going to go to war. I'm an absolute warrior. I'm going to trade in the pocket. I'm going to bomb shots. I'm going to have my hands down. It's more of that kickboxing Muay Thai culture where their boxing defense and their head movement is really somewhat lacking. And that's something that makes me very nervous about Alex Pereira going into this fight. I love him. I'm slightly leaning him, but I'm not confident enough to pick Alex Pereira. So I think a perfect prop for this parlay is either guy to finish either guy via TKO or KO. I know what you're thinking now. Hey, maybe Jan Blachowicz submits Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira doesn't have the best grappling. One, Alex Pereira is very strong, and he has actually somewhat underrated takedown defense. Now, I know he looked absolutely lost on the ground, but Jan Blachowicz isn't a guy who has this incredible submission game. His last submission came in 2018. I know that doesn't seem that much long ago. That was against Nikita Krylov, but that was 10 fights ago. So Jan Blachowicz has not gotten a submission in 10 fights. And Jan Blachowicz does have a pretty good chin, but he was TKO'd against Thiago Santos. And in my opinion, Alex Pereira is a better, more powerful striker than Thiago Santos. Thanks for listening, guys. Let me know in the comment section below, do you agree or disagree with my 3 legs in this parlay? Comment in the comment section below if you're going to send this parlay. If not, let me know what your UFC 291 parlay is. Thanks for listening, guys, again. And if you listen till the end of this video, I really appreciate it. Smack that like and hit the subscribe.